Joe Biden issues a sweeping pardon for his son Hunter. Kash Patel is nominated to lead the FBI. Plus, all eyes are on DOGE to make some serious cuts. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
God bless the United States of America.
Okay, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with Joe Biden and the stunning yet not surprising news that over the weekend, the soon-to-be outgoing president pardoned his son Hunter of both the federal felony gun possession conviction and Hunter's guilty plea on tax evasion charges. This action follows numerous statements and interviews by Biden that he would not pardon his son. He said it in one-on-one interviews. Just a few months ago, Biden said it during comments at the G7 summit.
With regard to the question regarding the family, I'm extremely proud of my son Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know, and I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
We knew he was lying every time he talked about Hunter, and yet the media used this as a point of virtue. Look at the corrupt Trump, and here's Biden. He won't even pardon his own son. Reporters asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre over and over again about a potential pardon, and her response was always the same.
When would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay, let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Wow, she just seems so adamant and sure. She couldn't possibly be lying, right? Oh, except for the fact that this administration lied about Biden's health, targeted conservatives, weaponized the Justice Department, conspired with big tech, and on and on. The action should come as no surprise to those who follow the corrupt actions of the Democrats, the Biden family, and the Washington deep state. But for those who don't follow closely, think about the rhetoric coming from the Biden administration and the entire White House. Think about the accusations thrown at Trump and compare them to what is actually going on with Biden. This is a crime family who has built the system for millions upon millions of dollars. These people are corrupt and have been for decades. China, Ukraine, Russia. The Bidens have been cashing in on power and influence, and yet in his statement following the pardon, Joe Biden actually has the nerve to say that Hunter was treated unfairly, that he was targeted by a justice system that has become politicized. Here's the deal. Biden's right. The justice system has become politicized and weaponized, but it wasn't used to target Hunter Biden. It was used to go easy on him. These charges that ended up being applied to Hunter were the result of what Joe and the entire family thought was a sweetheart deal. When it didn't work out, now all of a sudden, that same justice system is bad, and poor Hunter is the victim. This just shows that no one is above the law, unless the last name is Biden. All right, next, let's talk about the nominee for FBI director. But first, if you're new to the show or haven't subscribed yet, regardless of platform, just search out my name, hit that subscribe button, make sure notifications are turned on. That way you can follow the show and help us grow. Okay, next let's talk about Kash Patel, President-elect Trump's pick to be the next director of the FBI. This pick is so good, and you can tell because those on the left are just having an absolute meltdown. Isn't it great? To assess the merit of one of Trump's nominees, you don't have to look at a resume or conduct interviews. You simply have to look at the reaction of legacy media and those on the left.
To me, Kash Patel, and I don't say this lightly, is the most dangerous nominee that we've seen yet to our democracy.
Kash Patel as FBI director would be like if you crossed Alex Jones with J. Edgar Hoover in terms of just how much he would want to ignore precedent and the constraints that have been put onto the FBI over the years.
The only reason why Trump would have done this pick is for his retribution campaign. There is almost no other reason to explain this.
I just love clips like that. It shows how unhinged the Democrats are and a big reason why they lost. They talk about attacks on democracy while they do the attacking. There is no doubt that based on Patel's record that he will come in and clean house. And that is exactly what has the establishment operatives so upset. It's not that Trump will come in and be a dictator or destroy the Constitution. It's that he will come in and return power to the people. And for many in the ruling elite, that's simply unacceptable. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Patel several times, including a fantastic interview and Q&A session, and he's the real deal. He's worked on the Hill, defense, intelligence, and all the while his focus has been on the truth. It's a simple concept, and one he will deliver for Trump and the American people. Here's commentator Ike Wingate on some simple things that the deep state could have done or not done to avoid getting Kash Patel.
If you don't want Kash Patel, you shouldn't have weaponized the DOJ with the Russia collusion hoax, or labeling concerned parents as terrorists, or raiding Mar-a-Lago with lethal force authorization. If you didn't want Kash Patel, you shouldn't have done those things. So it's not about retribution at all. It's about justice. It's about accountability. And when you have Andrew McCabe, a guy who lied under oath in a federal investigation, saying that Kash Patel is a bad pick, you know you've actually got a good one.
The true weaponization of government has deep roots which extend back decades, but it was really revealed in the Obama administration and onward because of fear of Trump, what an outsider with no allegiances to anyone might do. And we've seen the results. Patel joins a list of stellar appointments and nominees from Trump, a team truly dedicated to returning power back to the people, whether that's through healthy foods, a just justice system, or cutting out wasteful spendings. The Trump 2.0 era can't begin soon enough. All right, next let's talk about Elon Musk and Ramaswamy and what they're planning to do as leaders of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Again, with Trump's lineup of picks, I really don't know which one strikes more fear into the establishment and governing elite. If Trump's team can come in and really start cutting costs and programs, then 1, we have more localized government, which is where we want it. 2, we have more cash back in the hands of the American people. And 3, we have less power in the hands of the powerful. And that one could lead to problems, as no one wants to give up power. And when you see the strength of big tech, big food, pharma, and defense, they are going to be scrambling to maintain their piece of the pie. This will be the ultimate test of members of Congress and Trump's team to remain focused and deliver for all of us. On the Senate side, Senator Joni Ernst will be working with DOGE on reducing the size and scope of government. Here's Ernst.
We are going to look at every department, Rob, and where there is waste, we are going to cut. So what we want to look at is what value do these activities bring to the American people? Is it something that our federal government should be doing? Is it something that private business and industry can be doing? So those are the things that we need to look at and encourage all of our members in the Senate and in the House to take a good hard look at our financials. What benefit do the taxpayers get from these activities?
One thing to add that wasn't mentioned, this is a perfect opportunity to do something unique, novel, kind of cool. And that is, how about returning to the Constitution? It's fine to talk about trimming fat and evaluating whether a federal program is being run efficiently, but the real question is whether that program should be run at all. Should it exist at all? Or should the states do it, per the Constitution? So much could be saved just by eliminating programs that the federal government has no authorization to be doing. Let the states do it. That's how our government was designed to run.
We have got to scale back. We saw a lot of spending during President Biden's time, a lot of waste. And you know what? You're right. Iowans sent me to the United States Senate to cut the pork and make them squeal. And that's exactly what we are going to do.
On the House side, Congressman Dan Muser spoke to Fox Business about waste and fraud in some of the programs that could be on the chopping block.
We can save billions and billions in contracting, in pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of savings. I'll just add this quickly, Ashley. 4 years ago, our spending was $4.6 trillion. Today, it's 6.7. Now, granted, a lot of that was COVID, but it never ratcheted down. Even with Biden's 20% inflation, that on top of the 4.7, that would equate to about 5.6. That's $1 trillion right there, that increase in 4 years that gave no advantage or nothing, no value to the American people. We can cut that $1 trillion.
$1 trillion just right there. But again, the hard part is that once these people start spending, no one wants to stop spending. Can Musk and Ramaswamy get the job done? I think so. Where should they start? Let me know in the comments. All right, next, here are some rapid fire headlines from around the country. First, let's start with Randi Weingarten, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, who showed her true colors when she was asked about Trump's comments regarding the possible dismantling of the Department of Education. Weingarten told MSNBC that she didn't care as long as taxpayers continued to show her the money. However, liberals like Weingarten have long opposed any effort to get rid of the education department, so her comments caused some backlash. As a good liberal, she then took to X to clarify her comments, posting, quote, "Something like the Department of Education is needed because it creates career pathways and ensures federal aid reaches our poor students while protecting vulnerable learners' rights." Oh my gosh. Next, you've seen the post-election videos of these nasty left-wing feminists who are shaving their heads or going without sex to protest Trump's election. One of Kamala Harris's claims was that Trump was going to take away abortion rights. That claim is 100% not true, but a group of women are now striking back at Trump and getting sterilized so that it won't matter if their rights are taken away. As reported by the Post Millennial, one woman in Texas who plans to get sterilized told Newsweek that, quote, "If I am to be denied any rights in the next 4 or more years, I will not be giving them up without a fight," end quote. Finally, gun manufacturer Smith & Wesson are back on Facebook after being banned for supposedly violating the community guidelines of the platform. Smith & Wesson has had a Facebook page for some 15 years, but the censorship Nazis at Facebook banned them for, quote, "promoting the sale of firearms," end quote, even though legitimate retailers are and have been allowed to be on Facebook. Smith & Wesson took to X to encourage their supporters to seek other platforms which respect people's rights. Shortly after that, Facebook reinstated their page and claimed the ban was done in error. Friends, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, today's show's one-sheet is available to Patreon supporters using the link in the description. The one-sheet gives you the links to all the videos and stories used on today's show, so you can dive even deeper into each issue. And with that, our next show will be Friday evening at the usual time. Until then, I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.